Hi, Joe La Bianca commenting on John 1:14. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. My commentary. This is when the Son of God was created. He was made. Jesus, as the Logos, was never made. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. But there was a day when the Word, or the Logos, was made flesh. Hebrews 5:5 and Psalms 2:7. Let's read. Here's Hebrews. So also Christ did not exalt himself to be made a high priest, but was appointed by him who said to him, "You are my son, today I have begotten you." Today, there was a day I have given birth to you. Psalm 33. Verse 33 in Hebrews. Acts 33:13. This he has fulfilled to us, their children, by raising Jesus. Also, it is written in the second Psalm, "You are my son, today I have begotten you," or giving you birth. There was a day. Now Psalms 2:7. I will tell of the decree. The Lord said to me, "You are my son, today I have begotten you." The glory of Jesus is his physical light, his perfection. If you have seen the human Jesus, you have seen the Spirit Father. Thank God Jesus is not full of law and lies, but instead full of grace and truth. He was made human by God to fulfill the law and do away with every jot and tittle of it, for all things were accomplished. Matthew 5:17 to 8 and 18. Do not think that Jesus talking. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth disappear, that's a Hebraism, which means, like, in other words, until hell freezes over. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of the pen, will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. And it's not just the law. Everyone says the law, but the prophets too. Are the prophets unfulfilled as far as the coming of the Lord? I mean, as far as his coming to do the law, not his second coming, are they unfulfilled? No, of course not. They're fulfilled. No one has a problem with that. But they do have a problem with the law because they're legalists. But the law is done away with, abolished, because it was fulfilled. If all things were not accomplished by Jesus, he could not have died on the cross. But Jesus defeated sin in sinful man as a man and not as God. Romans 8:3. It says, "For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God did by sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh on account of sin. He condemned sin in the flesh." So Jesus did it in his body. in the likeness of sin. He looked just like another sinful human being, but he wasn't. He was the Son of God, true human, true God. Not necessary to believe in the God part, though you would be believing the truth, but some weak Christians cannot take that. So 1 Corinthians chapter 8 allows for them to just believe in the man Jesus who makes peace between us and God. So take that with you today. And I'll read it again, the verse, and this way maybe you'll have more understanding on it. And the Word was made flesh, and the Word dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Now that's the context. In the beginning, let's read it again now. Come on now, after all we've learned. In the beginning was the Word. That was Jesus, or the Logos. God, when he spoke, was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God, so that there would be no mistake. John said it twice. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Because in order for God to create, he had to speak. Let there be light. That was Jesus talking. All these things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. That meant that if it weren't for the light or understanding or the awareness or the self-awareness, the volition, the power of choice of men, there would be no life. We would just be robots. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. After a certain time, man becomes darkened. And now there was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, who was Jesus, that all men might believe. John was not the light. He was sent to bear witness of that light. That light, or Jesus, who was the true light that lighteth every man that cometh into the world. So every man is not a robot. He becomes a human being when he comes into the world, and he is innocent because he's lighted by Jesus. We've discovered that the age of accountability is under 20 years old. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. Okay, and the number one interpretation is the world. Then it could mean the land and the Jews who did not receive him, and we see that all through the scriptures. But as many as received him, to them he gave the power to become sons of God. Who gives us power to become sons of God? Do we give ourselves power by good works? No. He gives us power, even to them that believe on his name. That's how we are saved. We believe on his name. Jesus means the Lord saves. Christ means prophet, priest, and king. Prophet, telling the way; priest, doing the way; king, maintaining the way. And these people were born not of blood or, naturally, not of the will of the flesh or the desires when men and women are in bed, nor of the will of man thinking about having a family, but we were born from the will of God. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us to fulfill the law. That's why he came. And we beheld his glory, or his light, or his beauty and purity, fulfilling the law. The glory as of the only begotten of the Father. Jesus said, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father, full of grace and truth. For the law came by Moses, but grace and truth comes by Jesus Christ. Thank you.